you can talk to everyone, we just want to get, we're running short of time, just want to get in.
A comment was made about a comment that I made, so I want to comment to that. Thank you.
Yeah, a comment was made about you wouldn't be comfortable with your 4-year-old. Well, rocket science doesn't tell you that you're not going to have the people mowing the parks and maintaining them while children are in the parks. It's before anybody ever gets there. So, I mean, they're out mowing the grass at 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning, not in the parks, not when the children are there. I'm the mother of 7 grandchildren, soon to be the mother of 8 grandchildren, so believe me, I want to protect our children.
Okay, so what we're going to try to get in 2 quick rounds for these questions, answers to these questions, try and answer in 1 minute. First off, I know, we'll just go as quick as we can, we're up against the clock. Earlier this decade, voters approved half-penny sales tax to expand mass transit in Miami-Dade County. Since then, that money is now going towards maintenance rather than expansion, and all that's come out of it is we're going to have, I think it's a 2.4-mile link from Arlington Heights to the airport. How would you expand mass transit in light of the fact that funding is so short, and would you consider actually trying to use money from the MDX budget? Why don't we do this one?
1 minute.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah, very quickly. Yeah, the new link, it's called the airport link. They took away the name of Arlington Heights station. The original proposal for the People's Transportation Plan was to build 90 miles of lines that will crisscross Dade County. 2.4 miles have been built. Where has the money gone? What have we done? We got more buses, but now they're reducing the routes. That's really smart. We need to figure a way of leveraging the local money that's being generated by the people's tax, the people's transportation tax, and with leadership, go to Washington and get federal money. We need to bring the bacon home and build the transit system that we all should have and deserve.
The first thing you're going to do is you're going to properly utilize the transportation dollar, the people's transportation dollar, as it was intended to be used. That's step 1. It was voted, it was approved by the voters, so then you utilize those dollars where they're supposed to be utilized. That's pretty basic. You know, I live on the southern end. In fact, our district is on the southern end, and we tend to get ignored. But yes, and we watched that. Now, we watched also so much being purchased, land being purchased, the right-of-way for the busway that now comes all the way south. Well, now, you know what? Now the county owns that. Now MDX owns that right-of-way, so hopefully one day that right-of-way that's already purchased, that's already owned, will be turned into mass transit. Because mass transit, make no mistake about it, is the way to the future. So we have to properly utilize the dollars, properly utilize MDX dollars. Remember, MDX, FDOT is different dollars than MDX dollars. FDOT, Miami-Dade County, is a donor county when it comes to tolls. MDX tolls stay here. But let's properly utilize the MDX dollars as well as the PTP dollars, and we will see transportation solved. Thank you.
And if everyone could speak to the MDX issue, whether MDX money should be used for public transit.
This is a perfect example of how the voters were lied to, and we are constantly lied to. We voted for this plan because we believe that we need it, and we definitely do. And then we vote for it, we really wanted it, and then, lo and behold, it was for maintenance. They did not tell us that they had not properly maintained the transit lines that we did have. So then what happens? Now the money has gone towards maintenance, and we're only going to get that one line to the airport. So we now have to go to Washington to try to get more federal dollars. The problem is, in order for us to get federal dollars, we have to increase the usage. We have a problem increasing the usage because we do not have enough people using it. So it's a catch-22. We have a lot of work to do when it comes to transportation. Federal dollars is definitely the way to go, but we have to get more people using our system in order for us to do that. And for that, we need more bus lines, taking people to the lines to do it.
Speaking specifically to the MDX dollars, what you can't have happen is MDX collecting those monies and using it to enhance their projects to a level much higher than where you need it. You need to be able to have the flexibility to move the money around to meet the county goals. And the county goals have to be to provide proper infrastructure, proper transportation infrastructure, the mass transit. Now, everyone here has an interest in, mass transit isn't necessarily going to be revenue neutral. It's certainly not going to make a profit. But everybody here, whether you're an employer and you want to provide a way for somebody to get to your workplace, or you want a way for your kid to get home, a lot of people, do I speak that slowly? A lot of people, you see a lot of kids going to Mast and Dash and New World on that Metro rail. So the issue is creating flexibility, because you don't want to create a very wealthy section of the transportation to where they can just spend on landscaping while your actual infrastructure, the dirt, the projects, is starving.
Mayor, would you please repeat the question?
Sure. I mean, how would you
No, just repeat it.
how would you fund expansion of mass transit in Miami-Dade County and then?
Yeah.
Using the MDX dollars, as it was stated previously, for that which is needed versus that which is a luxury, should be first and foremost. What I find is that across the board there seems to be a great lack of supervision, oversight, and that's why these things are happening. Again, I go back to the latest report about this police officer that was supposed to be using money for environmental concerns and didn't, and how he can still get a nice retirement and everything else. This guy should be on criminal charges, should be brought up. It's just not right. So to investigate very thoroughly and not be afraid to be able to say, this is what you did, and call them on it, and then to be able to have other people back you up or us up to be able to enforce it the way it's supposed to be.
We have trust issues with our county. That's what I'm hearing when I go door to door. And imagine, okay, we agreed to be taxed a half penny for transit, and we were promised all this list of things we didn't get. Actually, there's one other capital expense. I think we got a larger building to house the expanded bureaucracy of the transit department. We voted to tax ourselves a half penny to solve Jackson's problems. Yes? Okay, and now when those things don't work out for whatever reason, we're going to take money that we were promised for one thing for MDX and move it over somewhere else. It's just going to increase those trust problems. No, I don't think we should do that. I think we have to look at the root problem of our transit system or line or whatever we have is the fact that when you get off any of those stations, you're nowhere. Our true problem is not so much needing more lines or more expensive infrastructure right now. We need to tend to our places and make sure that when you get to any stop on the Metro Rail or the busway, you're in a place where you want to be, because you got to end and start every trip either rolling in your wheelchair or walking.
All right. With that, before we go, a few comments from our host, and then we'll wrap up. And I think that will all the candidates should be around a little bit if people would like to come up and have private discussions outside.
For those of you who submitted questions that we didn't get to, unfortunately, I'm sorry. I basically tried to make it an environmental forum, so I thank you for bearing with me on that, and thank you for coming. So I know that they locked the parking lot, I was just told, at 10 after 9. So stay and talk to the candidates, but remember, we don't want to get locked in.